Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to another edition of Children's Church Online. Today, we are going to be learning that Jesus is the vine. And now, here's Miss Ann with your lesson.
Hi, guys. Today, we are talking about how Jesus is the vine. Okay, so I want you to start off, whoever's sitting with you, your grown-ups or your sibling, your brother or sister, I want you to think for a minute about vines that you know. Okay, what has vines? Plants might have vines, fruit has vines, vegetables have vines, right? Can you picture something that has a vine? Okay, turn and tell whoever you're sitting with, what is something that you can think of that grows on a vine? Are you thinking about it? Okay. Today we are going to learn that Jesus is a vine, and a vine is a plant that, like we said, grows fruits or vegetables or maybe flowers on it. We'll learn later what it means that Jesus is the vine. But first, tell me what you thought of that grows on a vine. What is your favorite thing? It's snowing right now, so I am thinking about summery things that grow on vines, like tomato grows on a vine. You like tomatoes? Or grape grows on a vine. Ooh, or maybe when the snow is gonna flower. So tell the person you're sitting with, what is your favorite thing that grows on a vine? Help you get a picture in your head. Okay. There's so many delicious fruits and beautiful flowers. And Jesus talks in the Bible about these fruits to help us understand something important. A lot of times when Jesus told a story, it was so that we could picture what he was saying, right? So that it would make sense to us when we read about it. Okay? To understand something important about our lives, he says that he is the vine, and he will help us grow in love. Jesus means that when we are friends with him, he shares his love with us and helps us to love others too. Okay? So I'm going to read about it in my Bible. And in my Bible, when Jesus is talking, all the words are in red. And so it's kind of like highlighter. If you might read something in school and you want to mark the important parts, you highlight it. So in my version of the Bible, anything that Jesus says is highlighted. It's written in red, okay? This is in the book of John, chapter 15, and I'm going to read first 12 verses, okay? I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. So I said Jesus is talking, right? So he's the vine. Who's Jesus' father? His father is the gardener. Right, God is his father. So Jesus says, I am the true vine. My Father, God, is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. Jesus is talking right to us there, right? Remain in me, and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. If a man remains in me, and I in him, he'll bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Remember at the beginning when we said Jesus was going to talk about fruit to help us understand something? So we know he doesn't mean we're going to make apples here, okay? But he wants us to understand we have to stay connected to him. If anyone does not remain in me, he's like a branch that's thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown in the fire, and burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it'll be given to you. It is to my Father's glory that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remain in his love. I've told you this so that my joy may be with you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Okay. So let's think about this. Jesus said, I am the vine, you are the branches. Practice for a sec. Okay, Jesus is the vine, make a vine. Are you doing it? You're actually doing it? Okay. And we are the branches. So you got to be the branches. You can stand up. It's okay. Your grown up is fine. Stand up. Jesus is the vine. We are the branches. Got it? Okay. So Jesus says that we're the branches and we need to stay attached to the vine, right? You can't do the vine can't do the branches without the vine. Got it? We have to stay attached to him, to the vine. But what does that mean? What was Jesus saying there? How do we stay attached to the vine? Let's think about that. One thing that can make us feel like we're separated from Jesus is when we're having trouble saying no to things that we know are wrong. So we have some verses here. There are lots of times in the Bible where people had a hard time staying attached to Jesus. It comes up a lot. It's not just something that we work on or that kids work on, but adults know how to do it. Everybody has a hard time. In Romans, in chapter 7, there's a story, and we're talking about Paul. Paul is saying, man, I know that I'm supposed to stay attached to Jesus, but it's really hard. He says some things like, I know that the law is spiritual, but I'm not spiritual. There's so much sin in me, I don't always understand the things that I do. So Paul is saying he knows what the right thing to do is, but it's really hard to do it. Can you think of a time like that? When you knew what the right thing to do was, but it was really hard to do it? Like, it would be the right thing to say that I'm sorry, but it's really hard to do it. It's really tough, even when you know what the right thing is. That happens a lot. It even happened back in the Bible, right? He had a really hard time doing it. Okay. Paul felt pulled back and forth because he was trying really hard to stay attached to the vine, and it was really hard for him to do it. Okay? He was kind of tempted to do the wrong thing. So we're gonna picture what this is like. You need to be sitting with someone. Can you be sitting with someone? Like you're grown up, your brother or sister? Okay, so take your branch, reach out and attach to another branch next to you. Got it? If you have two, attach to the other one. Good. Okay, so we're gonna do kind of like a tug of war, but you have to be pretty gentle, so stay sitting down. Okay, we're not actually gonna tug somebody over. Littlest one first, whoever's the youngest one there, I want you to pull on the other branch, see if you can pull them over. Can you pull? Ready, set, pull, see if you can pull them over. Did you do it? Pull harder, pull harder. Okay, all right, now switch, other side pull. You pulling? Okay, I'm not pulling, ready, pull, see if you can pull them over. Oh, good job. Whew. So, Paul says it's kind of like that. He's being pulled in these different directions, okay? The Bible verses that we read show how frustrating it feels when we want to do the right thing, but you're getting pulled. You want to stay sitting, but somebody's pulling on you from that direction or pulling on you from that. It happens a lot. The good news is that unlike tug of war, the game isn't over when we're pulled to do the wrong thing, okay? In tug of war, if the other person pulls me over, I lose. Game over. Good news is it doesn't happen like that when we are attached to Jesus. Even when we do make the wrong choice, we haven't fallen off the vine. We're still attached to Jesus because we love him and he loves us. We're still there, okay? We just need to take some time to be still and let God take control of our lives. So there are some verses for that too. These are really short ones, so I'm going to read them. In Psalm 46, it says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Do you know what a refuge is? Have you heard that? If God is our refuge, what does that mean? A refuge is a safe place. So if something scary or bad was happening, you would go to somewhere that was safe. That is a refuge. So when something scary or bad is happening, like things are pulling on us, God is our safe place and he is our strength, right? Because if we're being pulled, we need to be strong. In Matthew 11, it also says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Okay? So think, if you were being pulled, you'd be weary, you'd be tired, right? And burdens, like if you're carrying something that's really heavy, you're worn out, like you had to carry a heavy backpack home or you had to put away all your toys all at the same time, right? You would be burdened. God says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. So remaining in Jesus doesn't have to feel like tug of war. It doesn't have to feel like a battle. It can feel like resting. I like to rest. That's good. But it does mean letting Jesus take all of our worries and our fears and all of those things that are pulling us. We have to give them to him so that we can rest. The more that we give our lives to him, this takes practice. This is not an easy thing, right? The more we give our lives to him, the more we can find rest in him and remain in his perfect peace. So I just had you do some tug of war. We're going to do the opposite, okay? We're going to work on giving these worries to Jesus. So make sure you're sitting down and like a comfy sitting down, okay? So I'm going to say it first and then you do it, okay? What you're going to do is I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in. I'm going to ask you to hold it just like 10 seconds. This is not a contest, okay? I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in. And while you're holding and taking that breath in and holding it, I want you to think of everything that's making you feel worried or stressed. So it could be anything, right? It could be that your little brother's annoying you. It could be that, you don't know what's gonna happen, or you're not sure what next week's gonna look like, or how am I gonna do all my schoolwork? It's all on the computer, right? It could be anything that's kind of making you feel worried. So you're gonna take this deep breath in, you're gonna think about all those things, right? All those things that are worried. And then when I tell you, you're gonna blow all that breath out. And when you're blowing all your breath out, I want you to imagine yourself giving all of those things that you're worried about to Jesus. You're just sending them all to him. Okay, are you ready? You comfy? You're gonna take a deep breath in. Now you're gonna blow it out, and you're gonna push all of those things to Jesus. So they're not gonna be in you anymore. Ready? Feel better? If you don't, pause the video, do it again, right? If you have sometimes it takes more than just one. You take a deep breath in and you're gonna think about those things. What are you still worried about? And when you blow them out, you're gonna give all of those things to Jesus. When we take this time to rest in Jesus, we can remember what faith is about. It's about trusting that Jesus is in control, that all these things are gonna happen. They happen to Paul, they happen to grown-ups, they happen to you. These things are gonna happen. But we are connected to that vine. It's okay. We can give those worries to Jesus. We don't have to be holding all of those on our own. Awesome things happen when we can stay connected to the vine. Okay, we can grow in Jesus' love when we stay connected, and growing in Jesus' love means that we can be more kind, more loving, more forgiving, and we can share that with other people. When Jesus is the vine, you can stay connected and connected for life. Now, to help you picture this, I'm going to show you a super cool experiment that you can do at home, and it can help you remember how you're going to stay connected to Jesus and share that love, that fruit from your vine. Okay? You're going to need a couple things. You're going to need paper towels. You're going to need water. You're gonna need some kind of cups. I had these little cups and I like them because they're clear, but you could use any kind of small cups, like if you have cups in your bathroom, something like that. Small cups is kind of nice though. Okay, so I'm gonna set up the cups here. And you're gonna want, because we want this to be pretty clear, you're gonna want some kind of food coloring, okay? Because we're gonna use water, but water's a little tricky to see, so we wanna make sure that we can see it, right? Okay. So you want to have a setup kind of like this. So I just used an upside down cup to put my middle cup up a little higher, and we have 2 lower down cups, okay? So you only need to start, it's good to do that before they fill them with water. Okay. You only need 1 paper towel, and I'm going to cut this into strips. So it's good if your strip is just a little bit wide, like maybe 1 paper towel could make 3 or 4 strips. It's not an exact science, okay? So we're gonna make one. Now this is gonna be our vine. And we know that plants need big, healthy vines. So we're gonna fold this a few times and make a really big, healthy vine here, okay? Just gonna hold on to my vine for a minute. Now our middle cup in this situation, this is Jesus, right? Jesus is the vine, he is in the center, we are the branches. So Jesus is full of all of the love that we need, all of the support that we need. So we're going to take Jesus here, and we're going to put some water in our vine. So we have Jesus in the vine in the middle. Now, this is where your food coloring comes in. I'm feeling green since we're talking about vines, but you can pick any color, okay? And you want it to be good enough to see. So I'm going to go with 4 drops. Okay, so now we have our green water to go with. We'll let that mix up just a little bit, okay? You could have a spoon to stir that up. I'm just going to reuse the tools that we have. So we're going to stir that up with our vine cutters. Perfect. And now we need a couple vines. Jesus is connected to all of us, not just to me, not just to Paul. So we're going to chop our vine in half here. So we have nice thick ones. And what you're going to do is you're going to stay rooted in Jesus. So you're going to connect to the branches. And can you see what's happening already? Look at that. From Jesus, without us doing anything, we're just connected, right? That love is starting to spread. And you can see it really nicely with the green, right? That love is starting to spread. And we can watch it go from one to the other. Now, this helps us picture kind of how it works. So we have to make sure a couple things, right? We have to stay connected to Jesus all of the time. And the thicker, the stronger our connection, the easier it is for that love to flow through from Jesus into us, okay? Now the cool part, you gotta let it go for a little bit. But the cool part is, even after this, you can keep adding your cups because we're connected to others, right? So it's not just Jesus and us. We are connected to our friends or our siblings or the other people in our family, and even just the people that we meet at church or at school. So we can keep adding cups onto this if you want to try at home. And you can see how that love doesn't just go from Jesus to us and stay there, but it can even spread out. Ooh, look, you can see the love starting to build up. Now, the very cool part is Jesus, always full. So even when all the water starts coming down, your grown-up can help you. We can keep adding water to Jesus so that keeps spreading and spreading from there. So very neat. I suggest when you try it at home, leave your vine set up for a little while, add a couple extra cups, see how it works. It gives you a really cool picture of what this looks like to help you remember why it's so important to stay connected to that vine. We have created these water vines, and they connect each cup so the water can flow. But it all starts with the tall cup, which is Jesus, okay? When we're connected to Jesus, his love flows through our lives, and we show that love, joy, peace, patience, all of those fruits to others. We can't do it on our own. This paper towel can't just suck water if there's no source for it to pull the water from. Okay, it has to be connected to the vine. We have to soak in and grow in Jesus' love. And then he does the rest. I don't have to do anything else here. Okay? When Jesus says, the end of John, he said, "Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself." These cups couldn't fill up with water if they weren't connected. No branch here can bear fruit by itself. I am the vine and you are the branches. Okay? When Jesus says, "Remain in me," he's talking about us staying connected to him. Okay? So I want you to think about that this week. We are going to work on keeping that connection to Jesus, and especially because it helps show his love and it helps us to give our worries when we're concerned about things, when we're feeling kind of small and pulled in different directions. That's going to help support us. So we're going to say a prayer here at the end. I want you can either look at your vines, because that's kind of cool and kind of helps you focus on what we're thinking about, or you can close your eyes, okay? But we're going to thank Jesus for being our vine here and for sharing his love with us, especially when we're having a hard time, when we're being pulled in those different directions, helping us share that love, okay? So I'm going to look at my vine. You can close your eyes, or you can look at your vine too. Say, Jesus, thank you so much for holding us up when we're being pulled in different directions, for letting us connect to you, for telling us that you're going to remain in us even if we mess up, that we haven't fallen off the vine. Please help us to keep that connection strong and help us to find ways to show that love, to bear fruit for you. So just like these little cups, we can help spread that love and spread how wonderful it is to be connected to you. And I ask especially that you help all of us feel connected this week, especially when we're not all together. Can you help hold us together this week so that we can lean on each other and lean on you? Thank you, Jesus. Amen. And thank you for coming today, for listening. I hope that you try the experiment. I hope that it works awesomely for you. And like I said, add those cups, try a little extra, and see just how far the love can go.